For today's headlines, Lord slams Alan's theatrics, bogus resignation. Daily Tribune stands by its story and objectivity. Cayetano quit there as sham. Senate can work with any speaker. Shut up, Biden tells raging Trump. Chiu wears another hat. PBA in historic comeback. Southwest monsoon affecting Palawan and Visayas. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Thursday, October 1, and now the news. Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco on Wednesday evening urged his colleagues in the House of Representatives to be men and women of honor by respecting the term sharing agreement forged by President Rodrigo Duterte between him and Representative Alan Peter Cayetano for the speakership. Velasco scored the theatrics pulled off by Cayetano in offering his resignation and in its being rejected by a few members of the House in what lawmakers like Representatives Arnolfo Teves and Lito Atienza called a sham proceeding. He also called on House members to focus on the passing of the 2021 national budget, even as he assured fairness in leadership that gives a premium on unity. Senate President Vicente Sota III meanwhile said the Senate can work with any House Speaker. Velasco thanked President Duterte for calling the September 29 meeting and bringing together his key allies in Congress despite his busy schedule. Velasco reminded Cayetano that it was only Tuesday night that he promised to resign on October 14 when the President ordered him to honor the term sharing agreement as an usapang lalaki or agreement between men. Velasco said the 14th of October was chosen as the date for the turnover because of their commitment to passing the budget before the said date, while doing nothing to disrupt or derail the process. The Marinduque Solon, it is most unfortunate that because of Cayetano's stunt, deliberations on the budget were suspended. Velasco called on members of the House to continue their work and pass the budget on October 14 as a commitment they've made to the President and as their responsibility to their constituents to deliver to them a fair and equitable budget. He assured unity and responsive leadership when he becomes the Speaker. Meantime, the Daily Tribune's management and editorial board on Wednesday took exception to outgoing Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano's statement, accusing the paper of allegedly spreading fake news. Cayetano did not dispute the content of the Tribune banner story, but the timing of its publication, which he said should have been done after he had announced the result of President Duterte's meeting with him, Velasco, and several other members of the House on Tuesday night. The Daily Tribune maintains good relations with its sources, including government officials and employees who provide its reporters with information, including off-the-record cuffs. Last night's meeting between the President and the legislators was a fair coverage, even if reporters were not allowed to join due to the health protocols being imposed. The Tribune editorial board also reiterated that the paper is privately owned. It does not have leanings as it stands by its motto, without fear, without favor. The story Cayetano had questioned was also verified by its reporters from various sources, including those present in the meeting. The paper's management also denounced Cayetano's accusation that the publication besmirched the conduct of the 2019 SEA Games hosting, saying it dedicated 8 pages for the SEA Games coverage, the most among leading dailies, while printing 2 magazines. Negros Oriental Representative Arnolfo Teves called Wednesday's proceeding at the House of Representatives that ended with Speaker Cayetano's resignation and its rejection by his peers as a sham. He said it is invalid and takes the Filipino people for fools or stupid. Teves was referring to the conduct of the hastily called plenary session where Cayetano lambasted his rival to the speakership, Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco, who had no chance and venue to reply to Cayetano's statement as of last night. Teves said the vote was invalid because in any proceeding, if a point of order is raised, it should be recognized and heard. He said he raised a point, but his microphone was muted. Meanwhile, Buhay Party List Representative Lito Atienza said abiding by the term share agreement would have given the House of Representatives the chance to maintain its integrity and dignity. Atienza said the 205 signatures, which Cayetano's camp had brandished prior to the meeting, had no power against the president's order. The signatures were gathered after House leaders allegedly received their funds, a Daily Tribune source disclosed. Tribune News and Chiu will be back after these reminders.
This is a very important story. The important story.
Pictures and stories.
Today, we feel the weight of history on our shoulders. The way we have been moving leads nowhere. We need to change course.
Since the United Nations was founded, the human race has never had to face a set of challenges like we do right now. But together, we can overcome.
Senators on Wednesday said they can work with any Speaker of the House of Representatives as long as they share the same perspectives in legislation. Senate President Vicente Soto III said in a text message that they can work with any Speaker as long as we have the same perspective. For his part, Senator Bongo said what's important is for the entire Congress to continue deliberating on the legislative agenda and priorities of the Duterte administration. These priorities include the 2021 national budget. Senator Panfilo Lacson said whoever leads the House, the Senate, or like-minded senators opposed to the legislative abuse of the power of the purse will not be affected. The senators' reactions were in response to looming change of leadership in the House of Representatives under the 1521 term share agreement between Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano and Marinduque Representative Lord Alan Velasco. President Rodrigo Duterte once again mediated between Cayetano and Velasco on Tuesday night in Malacanang for them to honor their gentleman's agreement forged in July 2019 with the blessing of the President. Democrat Joe Biden told a raging President Donald Trump to shut up in an opening debate that turned almost immediately into a shouting match 35 days ahead of the most tense U.S. election in recent memory. The debate in Cleveland, Ohio was as bad-tempered as had been feared, with Trump leading the way in yelling over his challenger and the Fox News moderator Chris Wallace alike. There was no handshake as the two men took the stage, and while this was due to the COVID-19 restrictions, the absence of the traditional greeting symbolized divisions through the country in the final countdown to November 3. Trump went as hard on 77-year-old Biden as he threatened to do, saying the radical left had the centrist Democrat wrapped around their little finger. and he got personal, seeking to rile the Democrat by accusing one of his sons of corruption and telling Biden that there's nothing smart about the Democrat. Biden, though, not only gave as good as he got, he launched the kind of attack on Trump that the billionaire president has really had to endure to his face. Liar, racist, and clown were just some of the missiles launched from Biden, who also branded Trump as the puppy of Russian President Vladimir Putin. At times, neither Biden nor Wallace could get a word in as Trump loudly touted his economic record and went after Biden's son Hunter. At one point, an exasperated Biden, who leads strongly in the polls, turned to Trump and said, "Will you shut up, man?" The anger-filled event did nothing to calm fears around the country that the presidential election taking place in the middle of an ongoing coronavirus pandemic could end in chaos. After several appearances as a guest celebrity, Chiu has formalized her new role on its Showtime as its newest co-host. The actor and singer expressed her enthusiasm over this new journey with an Instagram post made shortly after the program yesterday, September 28. The post reads, "Look back with gratitude, look forward with hope. Thank you, Kim," with Vice Ganda, Vong Navarro, Jong Hilario, Karil, Amy Perez, Ryan Bang, Jugs Jugweta, Ted Corpus hosted the program's newest segment, Name It to Win It. The hashtag Showtime Chinita Tanghali trended on Twitter. We will be back. Stay with us.
Magsha-shopping na lang ako!
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Hello, can you get the following? One pink chair, bed sheets, na pink yung sofa, tapos slides, size 8, pajamas na blue. Oh, don't forget ang...
Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Wait lang, okay ba yan?
Anything at the SM store, ma'am.
Call to deliver. Call.
Kuya, pwede rin ba ako magpa-deliver sa ate ko sa Taguig, tapos sa friend ko sa Davao, tsaka sa... Cancel ko sa Lipa. Okay ba yan?
Kahit saan po, pwede kami
Call
mag-deliver.
to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver. Call. Hashtag 143SM. Hashtag 143SM. Call to deliver.
Call na rin kayo.
Call to deliver.
Good morning, sir. How may I help you?
Bakit kailangan ko pang pumunta sa bangko?
Oo nga naman, sir. Ba't kailangan pang pumunta sa bangko?
Why not get a UB app so you can do all these without going to the bank? Bank the way you live. Union Bank.
In sports, the Philippine Basketball Association is steeped to essay another chapter in its 45-year history when it formally becomes the first league to open its season in the coronavirus era on October 11 at the Angeles University Foundation Gymnasium. Around 350 members composed of players, coaches, team staff, PBA personnel, television crew, and media would be housed at the Quest Hotel for more than 2 months, in which everything will be taken care of from their accommodation to food and regular swab testing. PBA Commissioner Willie Marshall has been burning the telephone lines for the past couple of weeks to bring the country's favorite pastime back on television. PBA Chairman Ricky Vargas said the league would be shelling out 65 million pesos to cover the restart of its 45th season. Although the Bases Conversion and Development Authority, headed by a staunch sports supporter, Vince Dizon, chipped in significant amount by covering the testing kits and making sure that the league would get discounts from the hotel and other suppliers, the amount is still too steep for an organization that has been losing 30 million pesos a month for the past 6 months. And the throw of a low-pressure area and the southwest monsoon are expected to bring rains today, while a cloud cluster east of the Philippine area of responsibility has the potential to develop into a weather disturbance, Pag-asa said. Batanes and Cagayan, including the Babuyan group of islands, are forecast to have cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms due to the throw of an LPA. Metro Manila and the rest of the country are forecast to have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers due to the southwest monsoon and localized thunderstorms. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the digital edition of Daily Tribune is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Chiu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tercito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. And before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store for our wardrobe. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.
Click, that's it. Never thought self-service can be this slick. Modify plans in a snap, walang hirap, it's a wrap. Just tap the app. Now you can check, view, subscribe, renew. Help and support for you. Out with the ring apps are the in thing. You know what to do. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Self-service and easy to use. Mas okay tayo dyan. Globe at home and Globe One, all in the Globe app na yan. Instant response, no hold time pa, wala nang hintayan. Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Download the Globe One and Globe at Home apps from Google Play Store and Apple App Store now.
Download Globe at Home and Globe One app, all in the Globe app na yan.
Ang Philippine Offshore Gaming Operators o POGO ay isang legitimate business entity na nagbibigay serbisyo sa offshore gaming para lamang sa mga manlalarong nasa abroad sa pamamagitan ng internet. Ang mga serbisyong handog nito ay katulad ng casino games at sports betting na pwedeng laruin kahit wala sa casino. Sa Pilipinas, walang POGO operators. Tanging POGO service providers lamang dahil nagaganap ang mga laro sa labas ng bansa.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Bilang bagong mag-asawa, sabay kaming natututo sa buhay.
Sabay rin namin inaaral ng mga bayarin sa bahay.
Kahit kami, nagtaka sa biglang laki ng electricity bill namin. Huwag pong mangambang maputulan. Sinisigurado ng Meralco na walang disconnection hanggang September.
Estimated bills lang ang natanggap natin ng March, April, at para sa ilan, May. Dahil sa lockdown, isang tabi to para hindi na maguluhan.
Ang May o June ay actual meter reading na. Kung May, nagka-actual reading, ibabawas dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran hanggang 3 buwang konsumo.
Kung estimated reading sa May at June nagka-actual reading, ibabawas din dito ang huling reading bago mag-ECQ. Yan lang po ang ating babayaran. Hanggang 4 na buwang konsumo, walang labis. Tandaan, kung ano lang na konsumo,
yun lang ang babayaran.
ako po si Mateo G.
At ako naman po si Sarah G.
G?
G!